Hello, and welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. My name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in handling Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been hurt at work in Georgia with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation laws and the benefits they should receive under those laws. Now, let's jump straight into today's topic. Today, I'd like to talk to you about workers' compensation maximum medical improvement. The first thing to discuss is, what is maximum medical improvement? Well, if you found this video, you're probably wondering that. You may have seen the term used on a form from your workers' compensation doctor. Sometimes it's listed on there as maximum medical improvement, or MMI, along with a date. You may have heard about the term online. So let's talk about what the term is and what it means. Well, really, it's one of those terms that means kind of what it says. It means that you've got as good as you're going to get with medical treatment. Now, let me explain that a little bit more. You may improve somewhat even after you reach maximum medical improvement, but the term means that you're not really expected to improve substantially with more medical treatment. So the doctor will say that you've reached maximum medical improvement when they feel that they really don't have anything more to offer to you, or that the treatment they're going to give you is not likely to make you substantially better. It doesn't mean that you need no more medical treatment at all. I've represented people who've been placed at maximum medical improvement but continue to receive medication from their doctor, or orders for physical therapy or injections or other medical treatment. It just means the doctor doesn't expect that you're going to improve substantially. So, what does maximum medical improvement do in a Georgia workers' compensation case? Well, Georgia workers' compensation law is different than some states. In some states, maximum medical improvement has a big effect on whether you can continue to draw workers' compensation wage loss benefits. In Georgia, it doesn't really affect that. In Georgia, when you reach maximum medical improvement, or as it's often abbreviated, MMI, your workers' compensation wage loss benefits are generally not affected. Georgia looks at whether you can actually return to work. In other words, do you continue to have a loss of earning capacity because of your work injury? If you do in Georgia, then your workers' compensation wage loss benefits continue even if you reach maximum medical improvement. So Georgia is more concerned about, are you actually working, or are there jobs out there that you can do, rather than just, are you as good as you're going to get medically? Because many people can reach maximum medical improvement and still have substantial work restrictions associated with their injury. Some people are never able to do more than sedentary level work. They may have restrictions of no lifting more than 5 or 10 pounds. They may be able to sit very long or stand very long, but their doctor may say that they're as good medically as they're going to get. If so, they're often prevented from going back and doing the types of work that they did before. And under Georgia law, again, maximum medical improvement is not going to prevent that individual from drawing wage loss benefits. But it is important to remember that there are limits under Georgia law for wage loss benefits. I've talked about many of those in other videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Now, can you receive permanent partial disability benefits or get a permanent partial disability rating when you reach maximum medical improvement? This is actually one of the things that should happen when your doctor places you at maximum medical improvement. Under Georgia law, they should evaluate you for whether you have a permanent impairment as a result of your injury. Georgia's workers' compensation laws require doctors to use the American Medical Association's guides to the evaluation of permanent impairment when they make this determination. And they have to use the 5th edition of that book. That book is a big, thick green book. It attempts to rate any sort of impairment that you might have as a result of any sort of injury. So your doctor should use that book and evaluate your injury and determine whether you have a permanent partial disability rating at the time that you reach MMI. If you do, the doctor should assign you a rating, and that rating is going to entitle you to receive permanent partial disability benefits at some point in the future. It may be immediately, or it may be further down the road. It depends on whether you're still receiving workers' compensation wage loss benefits at that point. Now, I've talked about permanent partial disability ratings in great detail in other videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. So I'm not going to go into those in too much detail here. Please feel free to watch the other videos on permanent partial disability ratings in this series if you want more information about that. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you have, please consider two things before you go. First, I'd really appreciate if you give this video a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to be notified of future videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Second, if you've got workers' compensation questions, please reach out to get answers. I offer free consultations in Georgia workers' compensation cases. If you'd like to set one of those up, there's two easy ways you can do so. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Just click on and submit the free consultation request form there, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I'd like to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.